Oh, someone can click that. That's very kind of her. Yes. Good for you. We good? Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, Premier Ford, Minister Sakara, Minister McCarthy, and many other MPPs, Minister here, Minister Julie Drabutin, and other members of Parliament. I just want to say, start off, thank you for your investment in the city of Toronto, especially on public transit. The Ontario line will transform how people move across our city. Over 15 kilometers of new subway, getting hundreds of thousands of Torontonians where they need to go faster and more reliably. When completed, it will bring 230,000 more people within walking distance of transit, cut congestion on our roads, and make daily commutes shorter for families and workers across Toronto. Today, we break ground on the elevated guideway and 4 new stations in Toronto's East End. That's real progress for Thorncliffe Park, Flemington Park, and the Don Valley. Hard-working neighborhoods that have been longing for better transit. A trip downtown from Thorncliffe Park will shrink from 40 minutes to 25 minutes. Travel time from Pape and Danforth to the financial district will be cut in half. That's time back in people's lives where they could spend some time with their loved ones. This project also strengthens the entire network with connections to Line 5 and Eglinton Crosstown and more than 40 transit services. The Ontario line will ease pressures on our busiest stations and reduce crowding system-wide. And there will be good news for TTC riders at Yonge and Bloor subway station when Ontario line is done. Less crowding because 1 out of 5 riders will probably use the Pape station instead. I'm committed to working with our provincial and federal partners to deliver the transit Toronto needs. Our city is growing. Our network must grow with it. And while we build for the future, we are making transit more affordable right now. For 3 years running, we've frozen TTC fares, saving a working couple about $300 a year. Soon, our new affordable fare initiative will kick in. The more you ride, the less you pay. The fare capping program rewards riders who relied on transit the most, because after 47 rides in a month, you ride free. Next year, the threshold will drop to 40 trips. No need to scrape together money for a monthly pass when rent is due. We are also improving services today. Enhanced transit signal priority is being installed as we speak on Line 5, which means it's going to go even faster, with the first phase going live in just a couple of weeks. Faster trips, less crowding, a transit system Torontonians can count on. So for the families of Thorncliffe Park, Flemington Park, and every neighborhood along this line, this is your government investing in you. Thank you so much, Premier Ford. Let me pass it over to MP Leslie Church.
Thank you, Mayor Chow. Bonjour tout le monde. My name is Leslie Church, and I am thrilled to welcome everyone here today to the historic Davisville Yards and to my riding of Toronto St. Paul's. It's my pleasure to welcome and thank Premier Ford, Mayor Chow, Minister Sakaria, Minister McCarthy for being here in Midtown and for your leadership on the Ontario Line project. A very special welcome to many colleagues here today, but my colleagues, Minister Julie Debrucin, the MP for Toronto Danforth, and Rob Oliphant, the MP for Don Valley West, both of whom bring many years of service and dedication to Toronto and tireless advocacy for federal involvement in public transit. Getting Toronto moving is a priority for all Torontonians and all levels of government. The Ontario line will have an enormous impact on transit and travel across our city, and it would not be possible without buy-in from everyone here today. I'm proud to be part of a government that understands the importance of transit, but that is here as a partner contributing more than $4 billion to this project. As we've seen with the recently opened Eglinton Crosstown, which connects my riding from end to end, new public transit infrastructure makes a huge difference in our daily lives. Now more than ever, our federal, provincial, and municipal governments need to team up to get big things done. That's what brings us here together today. And I couldn't be prouder to be a part of it, along with Torontonians from across this great city. With that, I would like to introduce my friend and colleague, the Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Nature, and the Member of Parliament for Toronto Danforth, the Honourable Julie de Bruzen.
Well, thank you, everyone. Bonjour à tout le monde. Je suis tellement contente d'être ici avec vous de nouveau. It's a pleasure to be here today, Premier Ford, with Mayor Chow. And thank you so much for welcoming us to your community, MP Leslie Church. Rob Oliphant, MP, as well, and we both share the fact that we both will have the Ontario line through our riding. So it's a special day for us to be here to celebrate as well. And maybe just because we're talking about celebrations, if I can also begin by wishing everyone a happy Lunar New Year, Ramadan Mubarak. It's a special time in our city right now. But infrastructure is key to empowering Canadians and building Canadian economic strength. Our government is focused on investing in strategic infrastructure that enhances our long-term economic growth. Modern, sustainable infrastructure reduces harmful emissions, and it supports Canadian supply chains that will help propel Canada forward as a global leader in the clean economy. We're talking about Canadian supply chains. Just a few weeks ago, we were also announcing the fact that we were building Line 2 trains. That's my subway line that I live along. Line 2 trains, this is a great example of an example where we were working together to make sure that we were getting those trains also built here in Canada, in Ontario, in Thunder Bay, in Quebec, La Pocatière. We know we have the best workers in the world right here at home. And these are all examples when we're talking about projects like these of how we can make sure that we're creating good paying jobs in our communities. In this time of uncertainty, we must seize generational opportunities. And this is an opportunity to accelerate building, deliver the housing and infrastructure projects needed to empower Canadians and drive a more innovative and prosperous economy. Again, like I said, I actually can see the construction of the Ontario line from my home. The Ontario line will cross-cut my community from top to bottom. And I see the workers doing all of the hard work to make these landmark events happen. So I really want to thank them for their hard work. When we invest in greener infrastructure like public transport, we build stronger, better connected communities and position Canada to lead in a net zero future. So I'm excited to be here today to join the Government of Ontario and City of Toronto as we celebrate progress on one of these projects. The groundbreaking of the elevated guideway and 4 stations on the new Ontario Line subway is a big step towards building a more affordable and sustainable Toronto. The federal government is supporting this project by investing more than $4 billion, the single largest public transit investment made by the federal government in the history of the Greater Toronto Area. Once completed, the Ontario Line will serve hundreds of thousands of riders every year, helping to take more cars off our congested streets and reduce carbon emissions. And look, as a member of Parliament for Toronto Danforth, as I mentioned, in Toronto's wonderful East End, I'm thrilled to see work on this important infrastructure project progressing because I know the opportunities that it will present for our community. I know how important public transit is for our community, and I'm going to be really excited to welcome all of you. When Mayor Chow talked about the shorter travel times between points, I'm also going to welcome all of those 1 in 5 riders who go to Pape and Danforth Station or other stations along the route to check out our amazing shops and restaurants in Toronto Danforth. It's one of the best parts of the city. I'm allowed to be partial when I say that. So I'm going to welcome everybody. It's an amazing opportunity to explore different parts of our city. Alors que notre population continue à grandir, il est plus important que jamais de s'assurer que nous construisons dès maintenant les infrastructures nécessaires pour garantir un avenir durable pour tous. Les transports en commun sont essentiels au bien-être d'une communauté. Les investissements dans des projets tels que la ligne métro Ontario Line renforcent les communautés en connectant les gens à leur lieu de travail, à l'éducation, aux services et à les uns aux autres, tout en réduisant le coût croissant des transports. Ils réduisent les congestions routières, améliorent la productivité et nous aident à atteindre nos objectifs climatiques. So these infrastructure projects we're talking about are key to building a cleaner, more efficient future for Canadians. Together with Ontario, we want to ensure our funding dollars go further, help build communities that are inclusive, sustainable, and transit-oriented. And this is a wonderful day to celebrate the partnerships that we can have between the federal government, the province, and the city. And on that note, and talking about that wonderful partnership, I would like to welcome Minister McCarthy, who has been a wonderful partner to work alongside. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to join Premier Doug Ford, Transportation Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria, Minister DeBruzen, who's all here in her own right, but also on behalf of Gregor Robertson, the Federal Minister of Housing and Infrastructure. And she can brag about the Danforth all she wants because I'm a big fan. My parents grew up along the Danforth. And Mayor Olivia Chow, a champion for Toronto. Thank you all for joining today's celebration, because that's what it is, because we're marking yet another incredible milestone. Under Premier Ford's leadership, we are delivering the largest transit expansion in Canadian history, and we are also seizing the opportunity to build vibrant, mixed-use communities across the Greater Toronto Area. Now, before I hand things over to my great friend and colleague, Minister Sarkaria, I'm pleased to share that we are planning 2 transit-oriented communities, that's TOCs for short, at Thorncliffe Park and Cosbourne stations along the Ontario line. Now, together, our TOC projects have the potential to deliver more than 3,000 new homes while also supporting more jobs. The proposed Thorncliffe Park and Cosbourne TOCs are just 2 of the many communities we are planning across the Greater Golden Horseshoe. In fact, our transit-oriented community program could create close to 300,000 new homes and support over 84,000 new jobs. Our 10-year capital plan is an investment in Ontario workers. With approximately 577,000 people employed in the construction sector, we are providing job certainty and providing workers across Ontario with jobs and opportunities, while building a more competitive, resilient, and self-reliant economy. And with that, I proudly turn it over.
From Metrolinx to once again mark another milestone in the largest subway expansion in Canadian history. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government is on a mission to get transit built for the people who need it most, to fight gridlock and get people and goods moving, while also generating thousands of good-paying jobs for Ontario workers. Most importantly, we are delivering results. Since we opened the Eglinton Crosstown LRT, tens of thousands of Torontonians are now within walking distance of fast and reliable transit. With 25 stations right across Eglinton, it's already a busy line, carrying more than 123,000 riders each weekday and cutting commute times from Kennedy Station to Mount Dennis Station by almost 1 hour during rush hour. We've also opened the Finch West LRT, bringing rapid transit within walking distance for more than 230,000 people and carrying more than 50,000 riders each weekday through Northwest Toronto. Public transit is a key part of our government's plan to protect Ontario by building a stronger, more resilient, and self-reliant economy. That's why we are transforming the way people travel across Toronto with rapid transit commuters can depend on. We're investing in the transportation infrastructure we need to shorten commute times and drive economic growth across the region. And we're protecting Ontario today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. With that said, I'll turn it over to Premier Ford. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. Good job. Well, first of all, good morning, everyone, and it's great to be here. I'm going to run through them again. You probably heard them 100 times. Minister Sarkaria, McCarthy, and Joe, PAs Grewal, Cooper, Friend, and Smith, alongside our great ministers. And by the way, Julie, my dad grew up on the Danforth. He's a Danforth guy his whole life, and he said he was an East Ender. And I got an idea. I'm getting off script. I always get in trouble. But you know what I miss? I miss the taste of the Danforth. So I will commit, and I'll talk to our friend, the boss there, to see if we could put money into revitalize the taste of the Danforth. And Mayor, you aren't getting off scot-free. You put a little bit in, but we'll put a little more in. Because I remember going down there, and it was like packed, probably 500,000 people. So we'll commit to that as long as we get partnership with our other colleagues here, as well as MP Church and Rob. Where are you stuck? Where's Rob hiding? There you are. Rob, thank you so much for coming by as well, and along with the mayor and other elected officials with us today. Folks, this is a perfect example. I always say I don't give two hoots about political stripes, and I don't. This is what happens when you collaborate municipally, provincially, and federally. And yes, I'm going to buy the mayor a blue jacket instead of the orange one, but I don't care about political. Red. Well, I'm kind of okay, red, little red, orange. I'm getting you a blue one either way. But I also want to recognize Michael Lindsay from Metrolinx. You're doing a great job, Michael, and all the industry leaders who have joined us today. I want to thank everyone from the TTC as well. As President Trump's tariffs take direct aim at the Canadian businesses and workers, our government is delivering on our plan to protect Ontario. We're building a provincial economy that is more competitive, more resilient, and more self-reliant, so we can stand up to tariffs, economic uncertainty, and anything else that comes our way. We're cutting red tape, keeping taxes and fees low, and investing in workers. Across the province, we're investing more than $223 billion in the largest plan to build in Canadian history. We're building hospitals, schools, highways, transit, bridges, all so we can connect communities and keep workers on the job. That includes $30 billion to build new highways and roads, and $70 billion in new transit to help people get out of gridlock and where they need to go faster. In the GTA, we're moving forward with major new projects like Highway 413, the Bradford Bypass, and the 401 Tunnel. In Toronto, our $73 million investment to speed up construction on the Gardiner Expressway has led to the project's completion 15 months ahead of the original schedule. And I know, Mayor, thank you for always helping us on that as well. And we're providing record support for the city, including nearly $1 billion for 55 new Line 2 subway cars, which will be built right here in Ontario by Ontario workers at Alstom in Thunder Bay, using Ontario steel and other products wherever we can. We're building the largest expansion of public transit in North America. People are already riding the Finch West LRT, and I had the pleasure of opening the brand new Eglinton Crosstown earlier this month. And work is underway on the Eglinton Crosstown West Extension, the Scarborough Subway Extension, the Yonge North Subway Extension, and of course the Ontario Line, which will be a game changer for transit in the GTA. We're also building the Hazel McCallion Line through Mississauga and putting a tunnel down through Brampton as well. And then we're working on the Hamilton LRT as well. The Ontario Line will run more than 15 kilometers, adding 15 new subway stations in the city of Toronto, putting nearly 230,000 more people within walking distance of fast, reliable transit. Today, I'm thrilled to be here as we mark another important step forward in our historic transit expansion. Our government has broken ground on 4 new Ontario Line stations, with major work now underway on Don Valley, Flemington Park, Thorncliffe Park, and Cosburn stations. Crews have begun foundational, work on the stations, as well as a 3-kilometer stretch of raised track or elevated guideway that will connect these stations, while work also continues at the future site of Pape Station, where crews have already excavated 24,000 cubic meters. I'm going to have to ask Michael later, what is 24,000 cubic meters? That's it.
Project would fill the sky dome 4 times.
I love that. Fill the sky on the Rogers Center 4 times. What did you say? Sky Dome? Okay, we're living way back. Roger, you almost had me on that one. But filling the Rogers Center 4 times, that's a lot. We could use that fill to create more land, matter of fact. As we build, we're using Ontario steel, lumber, machinery, and anything else we can. So Ontario tax dollars support Ontario workers. We'll continue to make historic investments in highways, roads, and transit, and I'm proud that the province is covering over 80% of the capital construction costs on the Ontario line to date. We're going to keep cutting red tape, tackling gridlock, and attracting new jobs and investment to our province. I want to thank you, and may God bless the people of Ontario.
We will now take questions from the media. Media can come line up behind me and state their name and outlets through the microphone.